Hello, good morning, everyone. Anyone missing here? No. Hello, good morning. Can you guys hear my voice? Hello. Are you guys able to hear my voice? Russell, can you hear my voice? Russell, is it clear? Okay, good. So, is anyone is not here? Elvin is here. Elvin. Okay, anyone from your group is missing? No. Because we are about to start, right? Group 3, are you guys ready? Okay, so once we finish with the lecture, then straight away with the presentation, okay? So are you guys ready? Okay, good. Okay, so are you guys able to see the screen? Okay, so all right, so we continue with the lecture where we stopped last week. Okay, I believe is in this topic. Okay, distributed query processing. Okay, so we're going to look at this one. Okay, all right. Um, distributed query processing. So we look at this one. Okay, cost of transferring the data. Okay, the data will be the files and the result. Okay, over the network. Okay, so as you can see on this diagram, okay, where the San Francisco, Los Angeles, the Chicago, the New York, Atlanta, all are in the different site to communicate with the network. Okay, and each site they has their own database. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, assume that employee at site one. Okay, so which is site one? Okay, uh, site one will be this one. Okay, so it is assume San Francisco is the site one. Okay, employee at site one, okay, employee on this site, okay, and department at site two. Site two, which is assume Los Angeles is the site two. Okay, so the query, okay, for each employee, we create employee name and department name where the employee works. Okay, so the query will be this one. Okay, for each employee, okay, employee. Okay, retrieve employee name, okay, employee names and the department name, okay, where the employee works. Okay, and the query is submitted at the site three, say it's in New York. Okay? Result is sent to this site. This is this one. Okay? See here, full name, the last name, okay? Then the employee number and the department. These are the query. Okay, query for it. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so when we look at here, it's the employee at site 1 and department at site 2. Okay, look at this one. Okay, the employee table consists of 10,000 rows, and the row size is 100 bytes. Okay, each of the row is 100 bytes. Okay, so the table size will be 10 power of 6 bytes. Okay. And the full name and the last name is equal to 15 bytes. Okay. So for the department table, okay, has 100 rows. Okay, and each row size will be 35 bytes. Okay, and the table size, okay, the total table size 3,500 bytes. And for the name only is 10 bytes. Okay, so the result, okay, look at the result. Okay, the result of this query will have 10,000 tuples. Okay, suppose each result tuple is 40 bytes long. Okay, 40 bytes long. Okay, for each tuple result. Okay, so the query is submitted at site 3 and the result is sent to this site. Okay, it's submitted at the site 3. Okay, so the problem over here, okay, the employee and department relation are not present at site 3. Okay, present at site 3. Now let's take a look back here. So I think that it doesn't go between site 1, site 2, site 3. Okay? So we just assume that one. Okay, so let's take a look at the page. Okay. So now we look at this one. Okay, so employee at site 1 has 10,000 rows and the row size is 100 bytes. And for the department table at site 2 is 100 rows. Okay, and the row size is 55 bytes. Okay, per row. Okay, each row. Okay, so the transfer employee and department to site 3. Okay, so they get the employee table at site 1 and department table at site 2. Okay, and it will transfer to the department to site 3, to site 3. Okay, I mean to say site 3 is query for employee table at site 1 and department at site 2. Okay, so the total transfer byte for this one is 1 million plus 3,500, and it will be equal with 1,003,500 bytes. Okay, so transfer employee to site 2. Okay, so I mean to say from this site 1 we can transfer to this site 2, execute join at site 2 and send the result to site 3. Okay. So when you say site 3 will not get straight away from site 1 and site 2. Okay, what happens is the strategy is employee, the site 1 will get into site 2 and join then to the site 3. Okay, so the query result size will be lesser. Okay, you can see here 40, okay, times with 10,000 we get 400 bytes. Okay, and the total size will be 1,400,000 bytes. Okay, so the transfer department relation to site 1, execute the join at site 1 and send result to site 3. And then the total bytes transfer will be 400,000 plus 3,500, and total will be the 400,300 bytes. Okay, so the optimization criteria is minimize, okay, minimizing the data transfer. Okay, to minimize. Semi-join. Okay, so we look at the semi-join here. The objective is to reduce the number of tuples in a relation before transferring it to another site. Okay, so okay, look at the example execution of the query. Okay, so project the join attributes for department at site 2 and transfer them to site 1. Okay, for query 4 times this 100, okay, a total of 400 bytes are transferred. Okay, so join the transfer file with the employee relation at site 1 and transfer the required attributes from the resulting file to site 2. Okay, so for the query, it will be the 34 times 10,000, it will be the 340,000 bytes are transferred. Okay, so execute the query by joining the transfer file with department and present the result to the user at site 3. Okay, that's how we are going to distribute the query processing. Okay, to minimize the tuples so that it can transfer much more easy. Okay, mean to say easy is more faster. Okay, so we look at this transparency in the dynamic database. Okay, so transparency, it hides the implementation details from the user. Okay, and this dynamic database can provide various levels of transparency, okay? Including the distribution transparency, and below this distribution transparency, including the fragmentation transparency, the location transparency, and the replication transparency. Okay, all this one we go to look at. Okay. Other than distribution transparency, including the transaction transparency, performance transparency, and the database management system transparency. Okay. We look at this one. Okay. Distribution transparency. Okay. So distribution transparency, okay, allows user to perceive database as a single and logical entity. Okay. So the user, okay, does not need to know about how the data is being fragmented, okay, the location of the data item, and the replication of the fragment. All these three the user does not need to know. Okay, don't have to know about this one. Okay, what they really need is the result only. Okay, so transaction transparency. Okay, it ensures that all distributed transactions maintain distributed database integrity and consistency. Okay, and look at the concurrency transparency and the failure transparency. The failure transparency can be the extent to which errors and the subsequent recoveries of hosts and services within are invisible to user and applications. Okay. So that is the failure. Okay. And the failure, okay, is invisible to user and application. Look at the performance transparency. Okay. The dynamic database must perform as if it were a centralized database management system. Okay. Even though there is a lot of database in each site, but it performed like it was only one single database management system, which is a centralized, but actually it is not. Okay. And the database management transparency for heterogeneous dynamic database management system. Okay. So take a look at this distribution transaction model. Okay. So distributed transaction accesses the data store at more than one location. the data, okay, will be stored in the different site. Okay, like what we see in the previous picture, previous slide. Okay, where is the Atlanta, New York, what else we have? Okay, Chicago. Okay, all of the sites they have their own database. Okay, but only for local database, and then all this database connected with the HQ, which is the central database. Okay, and this divided into a number of sub-transactions. Okay, so one for each site that has to be accessed, represented by an agent. Okay, we can take a look at this example of this picture over here. Okay, the database for customer, and then there will be an invoice and the bottom. The site C, site B only have customer database. Okay, this is data. Okay. Database is not located in one site only, but it will be distributed into another site. Okay, just to handle different tables. Okay. Okay. So each site, okay, has a local transaction manager, okay, responsible for maintaining a log for recovery purposes, participating in coordination with concurrent execution of the transaction executing at that site. So we have site 1, site 2, and site 3. So they have their own data communication. They also have their own coordinator, and also they have local PM, CM, everyone for PM. Okay. So each site has a transaction coordinator responsible for starting the execution of transaction originating at the site, okay, and distributing the sub transaction to appropriate site, which is the participants, okay, coordinating the termination of each transaction that originates at the site, which may result in the transaction being committed at all sites or aborted at all sites. Okay. So let's say they have their own coordinator in each site, okay, coordinate all the data entry, what else? Okay, all the table, all the things inside here, the data. Okay. They have their own local data over here. Okay. So concurrency control in dynamic database. Okay. So the several schemes over here is centralized locking, primary copy for 2PL, distributed 2PL, and majority locking. These are the schemes. Okay. So we look at the centralized locking. What does it mean with the centralized locking? Okay. So this system maintains a single lock manager that resides in the single chosen site. Okay, let's say SI. Okay. So when a transaction needs to lock a data item, it sends a lock request to S. Okay, and lock manager determines, okay, whether the lock can be granted immediately. If yes, the lock manager sends a message to the site which initiates the request. If no, the request is delayed. As soon as the delay is not being answered, doesn't mean yes, will not get any response. So let's say if this one site X need to do something with the site Y, I think they need a lock. Okay, the central coordinator. Okay, they need the lock to open those items. Let's say you can central coordinator will then respond to the request. You need to say these sites are not able to do anything with the data item. Okay, that goes with the other site as well. Okay. Primary primary copy. Okay, so log manager distributed to a number of sites. Okay, from each site will have their own log managers. Okay, so each log manager, okay, they are responsible for managing the logs for a set of data items. Okay, so you choose one replica of the data item to be the primary copy, and others will be the slave copy. Okay. Site containing the replica is called the primary site for that data item. So each site will have their own primary copy. Okay, so when transaction needs to write log the data item queue, it requires a log at the primary site of the queue. Okay. So we need to say here, okay, let's take this one as an example. Each of these site have their own log manager, and each site will have their own primary copy. Okay. So let's say site 2 are going to this one to get the data copy. Instead of the data copy, to get the data item from here, they will get, but not the primary, but instead they will get a slave copy. Okay, the slave copy so that maybe with the slave copy will not be updated in the primary copy until they will get the log request. Okay, from the local manager site 1. Okay, then they will have it here, then we will update the primary copy. Distributed to the L. Okay. So log managers distributed to every site. Okay, so each log manager responsible for logs for data at that site. Okay, if the data is not replicated, okay, equivalent to a primary copy here. Okay, otherwise, it will implement a read one write all. Okay, the ROWA. Okay, read one write all. Okay, replica control protocol. So any copy of replicated item can be used for read purposes. Okay, read only purposes. Okay, and all copy must be write log before item can be updated. Okay, so all the copy will be the state of read only. Okay, just like that. And majority locking, okay, is an extension of the distributed QPL. To read or write the data, item replicated n site or each site, okay, sends a log request to more than half of the n site where an item is stored. The transaction can proceed until majority of log is obtained. So we need to say the other side only get half of the log. Okay? Half of the log. So we need to say anything changes in this copy will not be updated until they get all the logs together. Okay, we need to say if there are 2 logs, okay, they only obtain 1 log. Okay? And in order to update those items, those data, okay, they need 2 logs. Okay, let's say we only have 2 logs, and they will require the 2 logs to update those transactions, those items. Okay, if not, then it will not update anything. Okay, so that is majority locking. Alright, and that's it for lecture for today. Okay, so we're going to start with the presentation in 15 minutes. For that, okay, so these are the references that are used for this lecture. Okay, so we can take a look more on this modern database management by OpenJA, Breslau, McLaren, and F. Dissolve, and also the database system concept and database system, practical approach to design, implementation, and management for you further reading. Okay, so you can look at these 3 references to get more understanding on this slide. Alright. Okay. Okay, any question from you guys? Any question? Are you guys ready? I mean to say a group three, are you guys ready with the presentation? Okay. Who is group three? Okay, group three member. Who are they? Lim, Celine, and Dimas and Ivan. Okay. Right. Okay, so get ready in 15 minutes. Okay. So yeah, I just want to talk with you guys. Okay, and to discuss. So this Saturday we will having the replacement practical. Okay. So I believe all you guys agree with this one. Okay. Will be on this Saturday, coming Saturday at 9 a.m. Are you guys okay with that? Because I need to I need to make a request. Okay. Yeah, okay. For you, Noel. The rest, okay, should be no problem. Okay, so because we are going to conduct it online also, so I think no problem with you guys lah. You don't have to come to the college. Okay, so I think we agree. This coming Saturday we are having a replacement class. Okay, so if everyone agree, then yeah, so we're going to start the presentation at 9:50. Okay, 9:50 a.m. So please get ready, group number three, okay, for your presentation. Right. So the rest, okay, can take a break. Okay, make sure you guys, yeah, okay, during the presentation, please ask them a question. Okay, after finish the presentation, okay. All right, so let's take a break for a while. Group 3, are you ready? Okay, so ready, you may start now.
All right. Good morning to Sensei and my classmates. Today, our group will be presenting our advanced database management assignment. So, the group consists of Celine, Ivan, and myself. So, firstly, we go to the background of the system. Sabah Car Rental was founded in 2010. It is a company that provides car renting services to its customer. So, as the business has grown throughout the years, the company wants to design and implement a new database system to improve the overall efficiency of the company. So improve in a way that they plan to moving forward from monitoring their business records manually, such as using paper documents and hard copy of files, into an automated and computerized system to manage the costs and the resources of the company. And that is what our the scope of our assignment, which is the car rental management system database. It can perform activities such as recording cars, booking, admin rental terms, and payments. So next is our ERD, entity relationship diagram. So as you can see from the diagram, we have 8 tables in total, which is the rentee, payment, uh, payment details, admin, car, rental terms, car detail, and lastly the booking tables, which every of them has their own attribute.
So for the entity relationship, relationship modeling for business rule and assumptions. So our first table is car. So for the rules is each car can be rented to only one rentee at a time. Each car contains only one car detail. Each car can be managed by only one admin. Each car can only have one rental terms. Each car can belong to zero or many bookings. And lastly, even though the car is available for booking, the car does not necessarily has been booked before. So next is car detail table. So each car detail can only belong to one car. So next is rental terms table. So each rental terms can belong to uh, one or many cars. Next is booking tables. So each booking must contain only one rentee. Each booking must contain only one payment, and each booking can be managed by only one admin.
All right, so I'll continue next. So for the rentee table, for their business rules, each rentee can make zero or many booking. And in order for customers to rent a car, they would need to register an account and become a rentee. And lastly, it's a rentee doesn't necessarily book a car before, but a rentee simply refers to a customer who are registered and is able to rent a car. The next table, which is payment, each payment belongs to only one booking, and each payment contains only one payment detail. The next table, which is payment detail, and as the business rule states that each payment detail belongs to only one payment. So lastly, which is the admin table, each admin can manage zero or many cars. Each admin can manage zero or many booking. Some admin may not have managed a car before. and some admin may not have managed a booking before. So as for our assumptions, we will assume that the rentee can only rent a car for less or equal to 7 days.
So next will be our data definition language and data records. So first of all, we create the table first. So as we presented just now, we have 8 tables. So let's drop the table first, just in case there is another table with the same name. Before we do anything, we drop the table first. And then we recreate the table again. So this is the DDL and also the data records along with the create table statements. So I'm gonna take them all, copy them and paste them to the database. Okay, so all the data is already inserted into the database. So I will now start with the queries, procedures, triggers, and reports. So for my part, my first query is the most popular car model. So the purpose of this query is to allow top management to make long-term decisions on which car model should they focus on, increasing or maintaining, so that the company can draw interest from these large rentee pools. By doing so, the popularity and rating of the company can be maintained or increased in the long run. So I'm going to take the first query, which is this one. So I copy it, put it in the, so it says that the view is created. So the query shows that what are the most popular car model of all time. So as you can see from the SQL, the most popular is MyV, and then Asia, and then followed by the others, which has the same booked of all time. So the most popular one is MyV, and then we go next to the second query, which is a list of car that has rentee rating below 6. So the purpose of this query is to allow middle management to understand which car is less favored by the majority of rentee, so that the management can look forward to change or improve in terms of car's performance, such that the cars have broken or dysfunctional accessories can be fixed by sending them to a workshop. So I'm going to copy the second query and view created, paste it, and 43 rows selected, which means there are 43 cars which has rentee rating that falls below 6. So the top management should take attention to these cars. All right, so the next query is the available car to be rented. So the purpose of this query is to allow lower or middle management in operational planning, where they can be informed of current available cars to be rented. This query benefits lower and middle management by facilitating the company resources, monitor easily and effectively of available cars in the company. So let's take the third query, which is this one, basic view created and 78 rows selected. So originally we have 100 records in the car, in the booking model. Why there is only 78 rows selected? Because some of them falls in the pending status. As you can see, there is a completed status, which is here. Completed means they are ready to be booked for the next user. but cancel also they are ready to be booked for the next user. But when they fall under the condition of pending, means that the car is reserved for that particular rentier. So that is why you can see there is only 78 rows selected in this query. Means there is 22 sorry 22 cars that is reserved for particular rentee. So the next one is procedure. So my first procedure is search the car details by the car ID. So the purpose of this procedure is just to show the car details by searching the car IDs. I'm going to take the first procedure. This one. Basic procedure created. So I want to search about the car details of the car ID 2, which is why I type 2 here. So this is the car details of the car ID 2, just to show the further description of the car. All right. Next is the procedure 2, which is to insert new admin records. The purpose of this procedure is just to facilitate the insertion of new admin records. So copy it, paste, procedure created, and then we execute it. Admin created successfully. So select from admin. This is the admin I added just now. And the next one is the trigger. The first trigger of my part is to validate admin the email format. So obviously this trigger is just to validate newly insert admin's email format. So let's copy it and paste it. Copy again. Okay, trigger created. So this trigger is to validate the admin email, which the email format has to combine with an alias, and then followed by something, and then a dot, and then something, just like the usual email format we use. So let us insert an invalid email format, which is this one. This email format is missing the alias parentheses. So as I paste it, the system will set that the inserted email is invalid. So please check again the format. So let us insert the valid one, which consists of the alias. So paste it, one row created, means the email is in the correct format. Okay, so next we move forward to the second trigger, which is to validate the rentee phone number format. So the purpose of this trigger is to validate a newly insert rentee with phone number that must start with 0 and not more than 10 digits. Second trigger, let us insert an invalid data first. So this rentee has an invalid phone number, which in the back of the phone number there is alphabet, and also the length of this phone number is too long. So copy, paste. So the system will prompt that the invalid phone number format is inserted. So please check again. And now we insert a a valid one. So one row is created because the phone number is finally in correct format, which is start with 0 and not more than 10 digits. Okay, so the next one is the report. So the first report of my part is the booking summary report. So the purpose of this report is to display booking ID, rentee ID, car ID, and payment ID, which is all of them are the most important important attributes based on a certain pickup location. So we copy paste the first report, which is the booking report. So procedure created. So now I want to know that all the booking ID and also rentee ID, car ID, and payment ID based on the booking happened in KKIA. So I execute the report, which using the KKIA. So this is all the booking ID, the rentee ID, the car ID, and payment ID that is happened in KKIA. So a summary report, total pickup times 70, which means there are 70 rows of records here. And yeah, this is the end of report. So the second report is to display the booking report for a particular rentier. So the purpose of this report is to display car rented history for particular rentier. So we copy again. Procedure created. So now I want to look at what car has Fu Honghui has rented before. So I execute this report by typing the name Fu Honghui. So this is what he has been booked before in the last 2021. So the pickup time is here. The car model that he has booked is listed here, and also the pickup location. And lastly, the drop-off time as well. So the next, which is the final report of my part, is the payment details for a particular payment. So the purpose of this report is just to display the payment details searched by the payment detail ID. Copy again. So I want to look at the description, the details of payment detail ID, which is 2. So I execute the query, and this is what the system show me. Payment detail ID 2, which is belongs to Luo Hui Lap, and the card number, expiry date, and also security number. And I think that's all for me. I will hand over to Celine.
So for my queries, the first queries is the strategic level, which is top 5 most car rental locations. The purpose is to help the top management with their decision making, which allows them to prepare financially and prepare them for the future to ensure that they have enough car for the particular location. So hold on. My SQL Plus is having some problems, so I think I pass to Ivan first.
All right, so I'll present my part first. So as for my query, my first query is to display top 5 months with the most car rented. So for the purpose, it is to allow the top management to refer back to months where rentees will book car. This allows them to prepare the correct amount of cars so that for the particular month so that rentees can book their cars. So for my SQL, let me insert all the tables and their relative uh, data first. All right. So for my first query. So as you can see here, these are the top 5 months, showing the months which are April, March, August, December, May, and their total number of bookings for that particular month lah. So for my second query, which is to display booking status on pending. So for this purpose, it is to inform or remind the admin on rentee's booking request. This allows the company to take action on contacting the rentee's request to make sure that they would proceed or cancel the request. So as you can see here, these are all the table that shows that the status that is on pending lah. So it will show the booking ID, the rentee's ID, the booking time, the pickup time, and the drop-off time. So for my third query, which is to display the daily car rent report. So the purpose of this is to show the daily car report. This allows the top management to keep track of cars that are being rented on a particular day. So let's go to my query 3. So as you can see, let's take today's date, which is 20th of April. So as you can see here, someone booked the car today, which will show the car ID, the booking time, and the payment amount. So as for my procedure, my first procedure, which is to update the car price per day of a car. So for the purpose, it is to ensure that the top management is allowed to update the prices of the rental cars based on the demands of the rentee. So as you can see here, my procedure is created. So now I will just take an example of all my car detail. As you can see here, I'll take, these are the car detail table. It will display everything here. So let's take the car detail ID of 100. So I will insert the ID and the price, which is 150, and the original price was 120. So once I've entered that command, So now, previously it was 120. Now the price updated, which is 150. So for my procedure 2, which is pay for car booking, the purpose is for rentees to pay the amount required to book a car. Let us put that procedure in. Okay, now display. Now let's take example of the ID of 100 and the total sum that he paid is 192. So once when he has paid, you will say successfully paid. So for my first, I will now explain about my triggers. So my first trigger, which is to check the price per day. So the purpose of this is to ensure that the price is not lower than 120 or more than 1000. So the trigger is now created, and let's take an example. So I'll now put the car price of the car ID of 52, and I'll put in 100 just for that. And as you can see here, the price that cannot be less than 120 or more than 1000. So for my second trigger, which is to update the payment status, the purpose of this is to update the booking table's booking status to ongoing after rentee has made the payment. So let me add in that trigger first. So the trigger is now created. So let me just execute it. So I will take the ID of 85 and the total sum that he has paid is 167. And once when he has successfully paid, I will now show the booking table. So now, as you can see here, the status of it is now ongoing. All right, so I will now explain more about my report. So for my first report, which is summary report, this is to display payment summary report. The purpose of, well, it's technically display all the sum of the payment found in the database. So let me just add in that. So now the procedure has been created. Now I'll just execute it. So now as you can see here, all of the information required is now here. So it will display the payment ID, the payment amount, the payment detail ID, the name on the card, and the card number. And as said by Lim just now, there's 100 data in the database, and it will now show a total of 100 data in this query. So for my second report, which is a detailed report, this is to do for booking details based on the status. The purpose of this is to keep track on booking details based on the status of the booking. So let me just do that first. So now I will now show the status of cancelled. And as you can see here, it will now display all the booking ID, the car ID, the admin ID, the booking time, the pickup time, and the pickup location for those that are cancelled in the booking table. And for my last report, which is the on-demand report, is to list of pickup locations within a certain period. This will allow the admin to view pickup locations from the 2 days entered and plan out which location they should consider adding more cars. So let me add that first. Okay, now when the procedure is created, let me execute it. So now I'll put in the first date, which is 2021, January 1st, and the end date, which will be the 2021 March of the 30th. So as you can see here, This will display all the necessary information. It will show like from the date that was entered and the end date that was entered. So now it will now display the booking ID, the car ID, the rentee ID, and the pickup location. And it will also show total amount of the cars that was already in here. So I'll now pass it back to Celine.
So sorry. So now I'll present about my queries. So the first query is the strategic level, which is the top 5 most rented car locations. So it will help the top management with decision making in preparing financially and prepare them for the future to ensure that they have enough cars for the particular locations. So now I'll put in the queries. So here you can see that it's displaying the pickup location as well as the number of bookings for each location. So as you can see, the KKIA is the most, so which means that the customer are mostly around KKIA. So next, so for my second query is the tactical level, which is a list of unwritten cars. So this allows the management to keep track of the unwritten cars, which allows them to make decision on like to contact them regarding the missing car and plan for the next step. So not only that, it also helps them to keep track of rentees that go against the rental terms, so they will not be able to receive their deposit. So now I'll show the second query. So here it displays all the cars that are not returned. So it will show the drop-off time that they're supposed to drop off but didn't drop off. So next is operational level, which is the list of current car rented. So this allows the management to keep track of the car currently rented and allow them to like monitor and facilitate them to provide good service and to ensure like the customer would return their cars and such. So I'll show you the query. So here it shows that this customer is currently renting the cars. So here you can see that this rentee is currently renting 3 cars. So next I'll go to the procedure. So my first procedure is to add a new booking. So the purpose is to add a new booking when a rentee rents a car. So I'll demonstrate on the procedure. So the procedure is created. So now I'll execute the procedure. So it says when I insert a new booking, it will say a new booking has been added. So I will need to input the rentee ID, the car ID, admin ID, payment ID, as well as the time of the pickup time and drop off time, and also the location pickup time and drop off time, drop off location. So next is my second procedure, which is to update rentee pickup time. So this is to update and record the date and time when the rentee has picked up the car at the specified location. So I'll create the procedure. So now I execute the procedure. So I execute the procedure and I wanted to update on the car ID of 101, which is to this time. So if you so you will see for the car king. So you can see here that the rentee pickup time has been updated to this one, this date that we inputted. So next is the trigger. So the first trigger is to check the car availability. So this is to check if the car is available when you're inserting a new booking. So the trigger has been created. So now I execute, show you the trigger. So I'll now add a new booking using my procedure. So this car ID is actually been rented. So it's currently renting. So if I enter it, it will say the car is unavailable. So for my second trigger, it is to check the number of days renting. So this is to ensure that the new booking would not exceed more than 7 days. So I'll now create a trigger and I'll execute my add booking procedure again. So I put the time for the pickup time and drop off time to be more than 7 days. So it will display rentee cannot rent more than 7 days here. So for my report, my first report, summary report would be the booking summary within a period. So this will display a summary report of bookings between 2 dates. So the procedure is created for the report. So now I execute the report procedure. So I put last month for the booking summary. So as you can see, uh, the booking times are in March. So it will display uh, the all the bookings that is within these 2 dates. So next, my second report is detail report. So it will be the detail of admins and the booking that has been assigned to the particular admin. So this is to display the selected assigned booking and assigned admin booking and booking details. So the report procedure has been created. So I'll execute the procedure report. So I'm going to execute it using the admin tree. So you show the admin tree is executing. So it will show all the booking and booking details of that was assigned to the admin. So for my last report, on demand report, which is the most rented car within a period. So we display the cars that has been rented between 2 dates. So I have created the report procedure. Now I execute it. So I execute it to get last month, which is a March. So it will show all the car details of the most rented car, which from these 2 dates. So I think that is all from my part. Thank you. And I think this is all from our team as well. So thank you very much for listening.
All right, thank you, group number 3. So yeah, that's all, is it?
Yep, that's all, Sensei.
All right. Okay, so any question from the floor? So the rest of you guys, any question for them for group number 3? Okay, no question. Pedro also no question. The rest, any question to group number 3? Okay, seems like no question from the rest on the students. Okay, so who's the group leader here? Is it you, Lin?
Yes, sir.
Can I go through with your the table content?
Do I present my screen?
Yeah, present the script, table content.
From here?
No. Okay, so you just do on this one. Please present the table content. To let me check from.
So I stop presenting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So you guys, your topic is regarding car rental, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so not no problem for me. Everything was good. Okay. Congratulations to you guys. Okay. So actually I have no comment on your query, your report, the trigger. Okay, everything is good. Everything is there. Okay. Yeah. Everything was good. Okay. I have nothing to comment on you guys. Okay. Everything is good. Let me check. Just need to go through one more time. Okay. Uh, then can I look at your trigger?
Sorry, who are Sensei? Me, is it?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Your trigger.
Which trigger, Sensei?
Trigger number 1.
Okay, trigger number 1. Give me a sec, yeah.
Alright.
Trigger number 1.
Your trigger number 1 is to check the price per day, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's a validation actually. Like, so in this case, it is to like validate like if the admin enters like a specified amount, like which is less than 120 or more than 1000, it will display the error.
So it will
So
display the error. If below 120, then what happened? Nothing happened.
below 120 it will display this lah. The price cannot be less than 120 or more than 1000. The display
Okay,
message.
meaning to say if they insert more than 120, then error will come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a trigger for an error.
Yes.
And about the update payment, is it the same?
Update payment is just to update the payment lah.
Okay, so as I said, when you update and payment, then they will trigger the report.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like everything I understand. Okay, there's no question I may have right now. So let's me check the link. Okay, hold on. Lin,
Yes, Sensei.
can I look at your procedure number 2?
Procedure number 2.
Insert new admin records.
This one.
So this to facilitate the insertion of new admin record. So you mean like insert what? Is it admin?
Yeah, admin. This one's supposed to be auto-generated, but I didn't manage to complete it, so facilitating isn't completed. Yeah, I guess this ID should be auto-generated. The ID.
Okay, just for the ID.
Just
For
for
the
the
whole
ID.
admin. Okay.
Yeah.
So your procedure number 2 is to insert the new admin records. Okay, so insert new admin record. Okay. This is only for the admin, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, right. Okay. So your trigger, let me check with your trigger. Delegate admin email format. So meaning to say,
Email format, which means the email should include an alias and also followed by a dot. Something.
only on the email format, is it?
Yeah,
Your trigger is the one.
yeah.
Okay, correct.
Admin email.
Name is but the issue is only the issue of the format. What about the phone number? Phone number of admin. Do you include phone number for admin?
I didn't include. I just cover it for Grantee.
Cover for Grantee, okay lah. Okay. Even in the procedure number 2, when you insert the new admin record, you didn't include with the phone number, is it? There is no column for phone number for admin.
Procedure number 2.
Yeah. In your table, in your admin table, do you have phone number for the admin? No.
Wait on. I think don't have. Yeah, only email.
Only email, names and password. Okay lah. Okay.
No phone number.
Phone number.
So only for Grantee.
Yeah lah. So I just want to look at the trigger here because you only deleted on the email format. Okay. So just want to know whether phone number is there or not. Just phone number also will have a format. Okay, they are not simply put number like that. Okay. And for the Grantee, with no problem here. Let me check it Celine. Celine, your procedure number 1 is just to add a new booking, is it?
Yeah, to add a new booking.
So every time a new customer came in, then you just insert those name lah.
For which one?
Procedure number 1.
I would have to add the Grantee ID. Wait. So I will have to add the rentee ID, car ID, admin ID, payment ID, and then the pickup drop-off time and the pickup location and drop-off location.
Or it's only for the car, is it?
Yeah, for the car.
The customer name is not included.
Yeah.
Okay, customer name is not included. Alright. And then the procedure number 2 is to update the rental pickup time. Okay. So for number 1, they're just booking the car, and your procedure is number 2 for the pickup time.
Yeah.
For updates. Okay.
Yeah.
For updates. Okay. So the trigger number 1 is check the car availability. So can I look at your trigger? Trigger number 1.
True. So maybe I'll add a car that is not available.
You just show me the result of your trigger.
So it will show the car is unavailable.
If it's available, then it will not come up as one.
Yeah.
That is
I'll
only
put one that is available. So it will say a new booking has been added if it's available.
Okay. For the trigger number 2, check number of days renting. This one, how it works?
So it will count the pickup time and drop off time. So they minus the drop off time and pickup time. If it's more than 7 days, it will trigger it. So I'll show. So here the date is 22 and here is 30, so it's more than 7 days. So we say rentee cannot rent for more than 7 days.
Okay, this one is when they try to book more than 7 days, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. What happen if those Grantee, let's say they book for 1 day, but eventually they set let's say this Grantee, okay, is rent the car for 1 day. Okay, 1 day. And then this person, this Grantee didn't give it back exactly on Monday. Maybe it used for 2 days. What happened?
I'm not sure.
Okay, never mind. This question I just came out from my head, so I just want to look at the fun and see whether you guys can able to think, not only for you, Celine, okay? It's for the 3 of you, okay?
Since I can actually answer that question. So our database, we have like a car rental terms.
Okay.
So like let's say if sir just now said the guy booked for 1 day and he did not return in that specific time, right?
Yeah.
Like late by another day. So based on our car rental terms, they will like have to pay a bit extra fees lah because they did not return it on time.
Yeah. That one is good, okay? Because you have the terms and conditions over there, okay? But yeah, because you didn't include in this one, okay? You will not trigger anything. This one is only a database. You include generate a report, okay? But that one is out of from this question actually. We're just trying to ask you guys, see whether you're able to think enough. Okay. So basically everything is okay, everything is good, okay. Congratulations to 3 of you guys, okay. You did a great job, okay. So I think that's all from me. And again, congratulations to the 3 of you, okay. You did a good job. And I believe, I think that's all from you guys, is it?
Yep, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Celine. Thank you, Lim. Thank you, Ivan. Okay. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, Sensei.
All right. Thank you.
Sensei.
Thank you,
Okay.
Sensei.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. For this coming Friday, okay, I believe we're going to start with group number 5 first. Okay. Group number 4 will be. Group number 4. Are you guys want to do it online or face to face? Group number 4. Hello. Yeah, group number 4. Do you guys want to? Hey, Daniel, are you guys in group number 4? So you guys want to do it face to face or online for your presentation? Okay, so if it's online presentation, then I will move you guys to this Saturday, okay? Because group 5, they want it to be face to face, so I will be in the college for this Friday and going to do hybrid lah. Okay. So group number 4.
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do the same day as group 5?
But you mean you're going to do online, is it?
Yeah, doing online.
Well,
We make it faster because mainly our slide we didn't make like other group. We only have 2 slides. One slide is for one slide page. We only have 2 slides, which is the intro and the ERD only. And then the task 4 until task 7, we will only demonstrate. So we will not we only tell the details. Mainly the details, every details has been written in the report itself already. So we no need to repeat the details for in slide again. So we just briefly what our tasks. Yeah.
okay. So if it's like this, but you guys prefer online, is it?
If Ian group 5 wanted physical, we do it in physical.
So I think that then it's difficult to do it. But are you group okay with physical, Daniel? Are they able to come to the college this Friday?
I need to wait. I need to ask my group member first.
Yeah, I need to ask.
Mainly, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Okay. So if it's like this, then I believe it's coming Friday, then we just do the presentation. We don't do any practical, so the practical we move to the Saturday. Okay, so we just straight away with the presentation this Friday, coming Friday. Okay, so yeah, you talk with the group member first. Okay, if they want it to be physical, then yeah, I need you guys to come to the college this Friday. Okay, we're going to start as sharp at 9 a.m. Okay, so if you guys are able to be in the college, okay, then I think I will start with your group first, then last one will be group number 5. Okay, but if group number 4, your group, okay, unable to come to the college, okay, and you're going to do it online, so online will be after group number 5 physical. Would that be okay with you? Have you talked with
My
your
group
member first,
member, my group member already make a decision that we will physically make a presentation for our database assignment.
Okay. If it's like this, then yeah. Yeah. So if like that, we start with group 4, number 4 first, then group number 5 after that. Okay, physically. Okay. So the rest, I think it's better for all of you to be in the college like that. Okay. Rather than doing
Two group go to campus, others just in online. We only it's like more like hybrid. We only hybrid mode.
yeah,
It
I
would be
know.
safer. Will be safer like
Yeah,
that.
I know second for this COVID, all of this. Yeah, let me check with the lab first, see how. Okay, but yeah, with that, then group number 4 and group number 5 should be do the physical presentation this coming Friday. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if you guys agree, then I'll be seeing you guys this coming Friday. Okay. Please be prepared. Okay, so We will not have any practical task to do. We just continue with the presentation, and Saturday we'll be doing all the practical things. All right. Okay. Is there any question from you guys? If no, then I believe that's all for today. Any question? Okay. Thank you, Nawal. No question. All right. So there's no more question, and I believe that's all for today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, presenter, and thank you all of you. Okay, I'm seeing you guys this coming Friday.